Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Achieving Alpha. And across the social media, we keep on hearing things like the taper tantrum and how it could cause a correction in the stock markets. So, in this very short video, we are going to talk about what exactly is the taper tantrum and how it affects the stock markets. So, let's begin. So let's go through the flow of events and how things happen. So whenever there is a financial crisis, for example, the one we saw in 2008, the Lehman Brothers collapse, or the one we saw in 2020, which was the economic crisis due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So in such a situation, what happens is that the central bank, let's say the US Fed, for example, prints more money to buy assets like government bonds. Now, this process is known as quantitative easing or QE, and the overall objective of quantitative easing or QE is to reduce the cost of borrowing across the entire economy. Now, that leads to reduced interest rates, and that eventually leads to easy money. That eventually goes into the stock markets, giving rise to the fantastic bull run that we have seen over the last 1.5 years. Now, why is this particular thing made available, that is easy money? So the overall objective here is to ease out the spending and the lending process. So what happens because of this is that investors can now borrow money at a very reduced interest rates, which is almost close to zero. I guess it's close to 0.25 for the US as of now. So very easily they can borrow these funds, and not only people but also businesses can do this. And this is primarily done to boost the economy, because if businesses can do that, they can basically borrow easy money and expand their businesses and plan for their growth accordingly. Now what happens is that a lot of institutional investors also get access to this easy money, and a lot of these money comes to the emerging stock markets. And one of the best emerging stock markets to invest money right now is India, and that is the reason that we have observed an enormous bull run in the last 1.5 years. So with that being clear, let's understand what is the taper tantrum exactly. So I talked about that QE is primarily done to boost the economic growth. So what happens is that eventually the economy starts improving. The figures are good. For example, like job data, manufacturing data, and so on. These numbers starts improving, and that basically tells the Fed that maybe the central bank or the Fed can now decide to reduce the bond buying. Now, why is it done? It's simply done to reduce inflation, because easy lending and spending will eventually lead to inflated prices of goods, and that is not really good for the economy. So the central bank then decides to reduce the bond buying. So as of now, the US Fed, for example, is buying bond securities worth 120 billion every month. And now what they do is that they see that the economy starts improving, so they plan to reduce that particular bond buying. And they don't reduce it all at once, they do it in parts or in cycles, and they basically tell. So what happened in 2008 was that the US Fed gave access to easy money by reducing the interest rates and basically increasing the bond buying. But suddenly in 2013 they realized that the economy was starting to improve, and they suddenly stopped buying of those particular bonds, and that is what is known to us as taper tantrum. So people are imagining that things would happen like that as well this time, but the US chairman, which is Jeremy Powell, has already hinted that anything which we do will inform in advance. But still, once this central bank reduces the bond buying, which eventually leads to interest rate hikes, and once that happens, it basically puts a break, or it puts a pause to the eased out spending and the lending cycle which was there, and which eventually causes the investors and the institutions to withdraw their money from the stock markets, because the interest rates rise and lending isn't that easy as it was before, and that eventually leads to the correction in the stock markets. So I hope that what is the taper tantrum exactly, it's clear. It's a very short video, but it's just to explain that how do things work. And a lot of you might not even know the meaning of taper tantrum, so hopefully you know it now. So yes, a very short video and an informative one. If you gain something out of this, please appreciate by pressing the like button, and if you are new here and coming here for the first time, subscribe to this channel for more such content. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. Have a good day, take care, and bye.